Now usually when a chief car tester Charles Pennyfather goes out to car launches or for car testing, he occupies himself with a few rigmarole things. How good is the car? Is it a hatchback? Is it a sedan? What's the interiors like? What's the average like? But today, it's different. Claimed across the world by historians as the most dependable warrior in any terrain, the Gurkhas for the past 200 years have been applauded for their bravery, toughness and affinity to discipline. Selection procedures are immense and the Gurkha has to go through a torture test before being bestowed the title and his cookery. Today we tumble into pits, we climb up what seem like unsurmountable obstacles and wade through water, and we do all this with the help of forced Gurkhas. You're recording, I hope this works because I've never done this in life before. Good. In the first gear. Ouch. I seem to be stuck. I am stuck. No, I'm not. You cannot be stuck in this vehicle. You just can't be. The engine in this car is a 2600cc Mercedes engine. Now what this engine does is it churns out 82 horses and 230 Newton meters of torque. It's an old engine, so the car's not going to feel very refined, but then you can be sure of one thing, that it's never going to break. What this car also comes with is differential locks at the front and at the back. Now what this is supposed to do is basically, if one of your wheel is in the air, whichever wheel is touching the ground, it's gonna get the power and it's basically gonna get the car out of a sticky situation. Okay, I need a diff lock here at the front and I'm hoping it's gonna then climb. No. Where to? Okay, so there you go. And the car's just going uphill. This is brilliant. This is just brilliant. None of the off-road cars in India come with differential lock at the front and at the rear. The other thing is the dogleg gearbox.
So in case you don't know what a dogleg gearbox is, this is something that is used in racing and old Mercedes engines. So this is reverse. You put it into what you normally think is first and you go backwards. Okay? So that's not what you need to do. So you need to go a little left, first gear, and you go in front.
Yucks.
Second gear is somewhere vaguely to the top.
Ah, fuck.
And I'm sure it will take a lot of time before a normal person can get used to this shifter.
What this car has is it's got low ratio gearbox. Now it's lower than the competition, the Thar for example, and it's programmed to make the car crawl. So even though I'm not on the accelerator and I'm just playing between the clutch and the brakes, the car keeps crawling. In fact, even on an incline, it almost feels like hill assist. What the ECU does is, the more load it senses on an incline, the more fuel it's gonna give, the more power it's gonna give, and the car's basically just gonna keep crawling. The suspension in this car, it's independent.
Which means that it has McPherson struts in the front and leaf springs at the rear. On the road, it's a pretty decent vehicle to drive, but it isn't really car-like.
This car is heavily focused onto off-road. To talk about negatives of this car, well, there are not a lot, but then the steering wheel.
As you can see, the steering wheel is really very large. as is the turning radius. It is a hydraulically assisted power steering system, which is nice.
Now the clutch feels really hard, and engages suddenly. So that is one thing that perhaps could be better. As far as the ergos are concerned, the ergos are good. Better than the competition. Perhaps there are no sharp edges. It comes with factory-built air conditioner.
Now, whether you buy a hard top or a soft top, it's standard, and I think that's a really great value addition.
This is something that's going to be immensely bad. I have in fact forgotten what my next line was. Yeah. Okay, fat. Something absolutely astounding what the car can do.
Now, this little dial here, it's a tachometer, so you know what your engine speed is at all times.
The car's center of gravity is very well designed. So the car weighs about 2.5 tons, but all the weight is really down low. So even on an incline, the car doesn't really feel unstable and can really do some mad angles. Okay, off we go onto this incline. Now this is gonna be tough. Do not try this at home, ever. Okay, the brakes are spongy, but do hold good, like you see right now. I'm standing on an incline. It's got a snorkel, so the air intake for this car is right up here in this top corner. And most people that you see who own this car put it through a lot more deeper waters than this. So testing waters in this car is fun. Yeah, no problems whatsoever. Now the car does come with all-terrain tires. Some of the so-called off-roaders out there come with highway tires, but not this one.
The Gurkha is a really nice car, but I think they could have improved a few things about it, like the steering wheel, for example.
But then Charles, this is not a car at all. It's an out-and-out off-roading vehicle. If you have a budget of 10 lakhs for a vehicle that can just about go anywhere and do anything, then this should be at the top of your list.